So, should I get rid of my Necron army? It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today I am going to discuss, well, should I get rid of my Necron army? Because, well, I had this comment on a video I recently made, and it was about my top 3 Necron fast attack units. I do like Wraiths, but I feel your opinion is skewed because of the ancient models you use, Nick. The current Wraiths are huge and much harder to hide and move around. Now I know I've got a lot of old miniatures in my Necron army, and that's because I've been playing since 2002. Since 3rd edition I've been collecting my Necrons. I'm not sure I like the term ancient miniatures, but I do like classic miniatures. I mean, okay, some of them can look a bit dorky. I'm looking at you, old school Tyranid miniatures, but on the whole, I'm a big fan of them. There's something about the old miniatures that I just like. I've even collected some of the Necron miniatures which came out before I started. I've got some old school Necron Raider destroyers and I converted them into heavy destroyers, and I play those even to this day. However, that comment really got me thinking, not so much about playing the old school miniatures, I don't have an issue with that, but am I putting myself at a disadvantage, or maybe an advantage, to some of my followers who follow my channel and look to me for tactics and my battle reports to improve their games, and then they see me playing old school miniatures and they're playing all of the new ones? Is it time for me to get rid of my army? I know it was just one comment, but that comment got my brain spiraling out of control, thinking about this subject, and that's what I love about having this channel. It's all the feedback and comments that I get from you guys. I really hope that it helps you out as much as it does me when you read those comments. This is probably a good time to say, make sure you comment on the video and let me know what you think once you've watched the rest of the video, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to learn about Necrons and more. As most of you know, I play Richard from CM Wargames quite a lot. There's a link to his channel in the description below. Richard is a tournament competitive player and he's recently been playing a Orc pressure list, and I've been playtesting my Necrons against his list. So far I haven't beat this pressure list, not even with the new Nephilim rules, although that's only been one game so far, but I've really struggled against this list. And well, this comment once again about my ancient miniatures, well, made me really think, am I actually missing out here? Am I putting myself at a disadvantage because of my old miniatures? Are my old miniatures holding me back? Or at least, are the bases holding me back? Because Games Workshop have really changed 40k quite a lot over the last few years. Each model release, each box set that comes out, the bases are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and as you know, in match play the tables have got smaller, so that sort of different base size is even more compounded than it was. I mean, there's definitely an advantage to smaller bases. It's easier to deploy your units. I mean, if you've got a blob of 20 flayed ones on 25mm bases, that's a lot easier to deploy than if they were on the new size, which I'm not quite sure what that is, maybe 32mm, but definitely bigger. It's also easier to deep strike a unit on 25mm bases, 5 flayed ones or 5 death marks. It's easier to deep strike them into a very small area with the smaller bases. However, I think there's far more disadvantages to smaller bases. Bigger bases would mean I'd be taking up more space on the table, denying ground to Richard and maybe helping me score my Purge the Vermin. I know for sure that my smaller bases make it a lot easier for Richard to pull off his assault shenanigans where he consolidates and piles in to different units. Bigger bases would definitely reduce that scenario. I do believe that my ancient models are actually putting me at a disadvantage. I'm using old Wraiths, old flayed ones, old canoptic spiders, although I think the base isn't actually bigger for the spiders, but the models are slightly bigger. I'm generally using older miniatures, apart from the last few releases which DW have done, because of course there were no old miniatures for those. So, what to do about this issue? I could invest in some new miniatures. I currently have 18 old metal wraiths, 3 units of 6. I could just rebuy those miniatures and then just get rid of the old ones. It might actually help my channel more if people saw the newer miniatures in battle reports rather than those ancient miniatures. I mean, do you like to see my ancient miniatures in bat reps, or would you just 100% prefer to see the new miniatures? Yep, that's a cue to comment. I could sell my old miniatures and then reinvest and buy the new ones. Of course, I could keep my old miniatures and then just buy new miniatures to replace them, so I've got both. That would be very cool and be nice for my collection. However, that entails obviously more investment, because I'm not selling my old miniatures for money to invest in new miniatures, but also it would mean a lot more storage space, and I'll be totally honest with you, I'm running out of storage space. Now, as I said, I am a big fan of the classic miniatures. I like them, so I think the obvious solution here is just to upgrade the base sizes. I already did this when I added to my Lich Guard collection, because Lich Guards when they first came out were on 25mm bases and now they're on 32mm bases. So I ripped my bases off my old Lich Guard and I rebased them with 32mm bases. But I'm not sure I want to do that for my whole army. So I think the answer is to use base adapters, and this is where you guys might be able to help me. I've had a look on eBay and it's a minefield. There's quite a lot of different variants. I've seen ones which come in 2 halves that you sort of glue around the base, and then obviously you can sort of glue sand and stuff on to hide it. They seem very permanent. I've seen full round ones where you just push the model in, so not so permanent. You could potentially just take it out. Obviously you could push it in and then rebase the edge so that it looks like a proper base. I'm just not sure which direction to go or where is the best place to get them from, because, well, sometimes on eBay you just don't know what you're getting. I have a tournament coming up that I'm running, just a little tournament with 10 YouTubers, including myself, so 9 YouTubers, and I thought it would be great to use my tournament army as the starting point to upgrading my base sizes. So what I'm looking for is some advice from you guys. Have you done it? How did it go? What did you use? And maybe some suggestions on where to get them. Because I have decided I'm not going to bin my army, I'm going to upgrade it. I look forward to all of your comments.